My friends will find this ironic, considering I'm guilty of using this trope myself, but I really don't like when writers resort to the tried-and-true expositional approach of the TV newscaster. It often feels lazy, like the writer couldn't figure out a better way to introduce his world. But the real problem is most of these newscasts seem to have been written by people who've apparently never watched the news in their lives. If you want to see an example of this expositional trick employed correctly, watch the beginning of Tropic Thunder. After a long battle sequence, the film transitions into an Access Hollywood segment that drops a truckload of backstory on the audience. Why does it work? Because the scene in question sounds exactly like an Access Hollywood story, down to the bad puns and weak transitions. The writers absolutely nail the tone and cadence of that show and how it incorporates clips. Bad newscast segments feature things like remote reporters doing long live interviews for segments that likely would have been pre-taped and edited into sound bites for the newscast. You'll also see things like two local news anchors discussing the issues of the day and a back-and-forth conversation more akin to Meet the Press than the 6 p.m. affiliate news in Jersey. There's also a lot of, as you know, Bob, type narration in these reports. True, the local news might recap some events for viewers unfamiliar with what happened, but it's unlikely they'd go into deep detail reminding the audience of the very specific circumstance 2 weeks ago that led to the mayor being arrested on charges of solicitation and drunk driving. In all likelihood, that would have been such a big local story that everyone in town would be aware of it, thus only a brief recap would be required. So the next time you have the urge to write a newscast scene, don't. And if you're determined to ignore me, please at least spend a full week watching your local news so you get a flavor for how the pros do it. If you have questions, leave them for me in comments. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you back here next week.